The Monday, May 11, 2026 regular meeting of the Paris City Council is hereby called to order at 5:30 p.m. For the purpose of this meeting, there is a quorum of the council present. Agenda item number 2, invocation. Councilmember Ellis will deliver the invocation, and the United States Pledge and the Texas Pledge will be led by the City Council. Please rise.
Let's pray. Father, we love you tonight. We're so thankful for your goodness and your mercy. I pray, God, for the city council, our city manager, that you'll guide and direct us in all that we discuss. May your perfect will be accomplished. We thank you for all of the staff, the department heads. We just pray your blessings upon them as well. Father, we love you tonight, and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. We will now move on to the Citizens Forum.
Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentations to no more than 2 minutes, and remarks must be limited to matters of city business. Speakers will not be allowed to cede speaking time to others. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city council members, or employees, including but not limited to claims in pending litigation, as well as individual personal appeals, are not appropriate for Citizens Forum. If necessary, the City Council may convene into executive session under Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code regarding any item on this agenda.
I want to make a quick housekeeping note. If there's anyone that's wanting to speak on a particular zoning case, I know we've got a handful of zoning cases this evening. If you want to speak on that, if you will, just wait until that agenda item comes up. They're all going to be in the regular agenda, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But if anyone would like to speak in the public forum, please come up and state your name and address for the record.
James Belcher, 432 5th Street Northeast, Paris, Texas. I've been out there during this storm working every day. I want to tell you all, these city workers are really hitting it hard. I haven't seen anybody sitting around their truck. All their trailers are full, their pickup beds are full of brush. They're working hard. They're not trying to fudge it, take a vacation while they're getting paid. I haven't seen not one of them not doing their job to the fullest capacity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Okay, we will go ahead and close the Citizens Forum. We'll move on to the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the council, with such approval applicable to all items appearing on the consent agenda. A council member may request any item to be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Council, does anyone wish to remove an item? And if not, I'd like to go ahead and open up the floor for any motions.
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda.
Okay, we've got a motion. Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 7-0. We will now move on to agenda item number 9 in the regular agenda. Recognition of outgoing council members Shatara Moore and Mickey Ellis for their service. Councilmember Moore and Councilmember Ellis, on behalf of the City Council and staff, I want to express how appreciative we are of your hard work and everything that you've put forward. It is a true time commitment, and unless if you've really served on this council, you really don't know how it feels to give up that time and really give it your all for your fellow citizens. So on behalf of council, I want to just thank you for all of the hard work that you guys have put in, all the time and effort you put into these special projects. Any meetings we've had, you make that time and you show up. And we appreciate that for all that you do. If you guys want to come down, we as a council would like to present an awesome little gift for you guys and a picture. So I'm gonna use this mic for a second here. I'd like to read off each of these plaques. And this one will be going to Councilmember Shatara Moore. In grateful recognition of outstanding civic leadership, 2022 to 2026. We want to go ahead and present this to you. I'm going to take it out just so that way we can take a picture with it. Yes. And this one goes to Councilmember Mickey Ellis in grateful recognition of outstanding civic leadership from 2024 to 2026. We can just take a quick picture. I want to take a quick moment and just say, I think that these guys may have a couple words that they may want to share, and this is definitely the time and you have the floor to share any thoughts, any parting words you guys have.
You cut me off.
Hey, you don't have to, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just grateful, and I thank God for serving with all of you guys on the council and serving my community. It was truly a blessing, and I learned so much, and I just want to say thank y'all for putting up with me. So I just want to say thank you. God bless everybody.
I feel the same. It's been an honor and a privilege. I get a little emotional, but I really appreciate and love the city council and the department head, well, most of them. But I'm thankful to have served. I've made lifelong friendships here, and I really do believe that the city in the days ahead have a good, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here, but the future is good with this city council and these department heads. And I really do love and appreciate it. You're in good hands with these guys. Thank you.
Okay. We will now move on to agenda item number 10, issuance of certificate of election, administer statement of elected officer to council members, and administer oath of office to newly elected council members. Ms. Ellis?
Yes, if Gary Savage, Alex Putman, and Stacy Liddell will meet me in the front, we will do the oaths. Office of Council Member. City of Paris. State of Texas. And will to the best of my ability. Preserve, protect, and defend. The Constitution. And the laws of the United States. And of this state. And the charter. And ordinances of this city. So
All right. Just want to congratulate our 3 council members here and our newest council member. Congratulations to you, my friend, Mr. Liddell. And let's give just one quick round of applause for these 3. All right. We will now move on to agenda item number 11, election of City Council of Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem to serve the City Council for the next year. Prior to the election of the Mayor and Mayor Pro Tem, I want to review the procedure for the elections. So the procedure for the mayoral pro tem elections, 1, the chairperson will open the floor for nominations for the office of mayor of the city of Paris. Council members may nominate candidates for mayor. No second is required. Once no further nominations are put forth, the chairperson will close the nominations. The chairperson will then conduct a vote on the candidate in the order the candidates were nominated. If the first candidate receives a majority of the vote, the chairperson will declare that first candidate as mayor, and no vote will be necessary on the remaining candidates. And lastly, the new mayor will conduct the election for mayor pro tem in the same manner as the election for mayor was conducted. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and open up the floor for nominations for the office of mayor.
I nominate Mihir Pankaj for mayor.
Are there any other nominations? Okay, I will close the floor, and seeing that the floor is now closed, I'll go ahead and take the vote. All those in favor for Mihir Pankaj for mayor of the city of Paris, please say yes.
Yes.
Okay. All those against, please say no. Okay, motion carries 6-0. Now, we're going to move on to the mayor pro tem election. The floor is open for nominations for the office of mayor pro tem.
I nominate Gary Savage for mayor pro tem.
Any other nominations? Nominations are closed. I will go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor for Gary Savage for mayor pro tem, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Congratulations, sir. All right, now that we have done the election in the housekeeping work for mayor and mayor pro tem, we will move on to agenda item number 12. Discuss and act on the selection process for filling the vacant seat of City Council District 2. Ms. Ellis has provided us with 2 options for the selection process for filling the vacant seat for District 2. Option 1 is to nominate and appoint a qualified person residing in District 2 to fill the vacant position. Option 2 is to direct staff to announce the vacancy, accept applications, do interviews, and make an appointment. If we decide on option 2, we will definitely need to declare or to decide on a deadline to have the applications to the city clerk so that she can qualify them, make sure all the paperwork's good and everything checks out. We will also want to schedule a special meeting to conduct interviews for these applicants. Is there any discussion?
Well, I'm in favor of option 1, that city council will nominate and appoint someone that they feel is qualified.
Any other words of any discussion? Any other options?
No, I agree. What's typically the timeline? What do you recommend for?
Okay, if I understand you all, you're wanting to select option 1, which is not to announce the vacancy and advertise. You want to select someone.
Yes.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay, so as soon as you nominate them, we can get them appointed. If you go ahead and nominate them, then what I need to do is vet them, make sure that they are a qualified registered voter, and then we could bring it back to the next council meeting to have them appointed.
Could we go ahead and take those names right now?
Yes, sir, you
If there's-
can.
Mayor Pro Tem Savage, do you have anyone in particular?
No, I think we need time to look at the registered voters in that district and come back, because the next council meeting is canceled. So in a month's time, we should have some, or more than one, that we can nominate.
Okay, so not next council meeting, but we are skipping the next council
Yes.
meeting. Are you saying first meeting in June?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll put a appointment possibly on there or accept nominations and y'all can talk about it that night.
Yes.
Okay,
This
thank
would
you.
be the June 8th meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, perfect. I want to make sure that we're all in agreement on that, so I would like to go ahead and open up the floor for a vote.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept or choose option 1 of the nominating process to fill City Council District 2's vacant seat.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. All right. We will go ahead and move on to agenda item number 13, receive a presentation from Chief McMonigal about the fire department. Chief?
See if they, excuse me, I was just waiting to see if they brought my presentation up yet. There he goes. All right. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. I'm happy to be standing in front of you again tonight just to give you an overview of the EMS and the fire departments, which are the two departments that I'm currently responsible for. Right now, we'll start off with the EMS. You're seeing our organizational chart that shows how everything is organized, the people that are on each shift and how we work. We have 29 full-time personnel right now, consisting of the people you see here on the chart. Then we also have 25 PRN positions that we use. And we use those as needed, as typical with most PRN positions. Our operations, we run 4 ambulances that we staff 24/7 for 911 responses. Those run county-wide for any type of an emergency. Anytime anybody calls 911, we run county-wide for that. We also have 1 ambulance staff for non-emergency transfers during peak hours. And as I had mentioned during the workshop, we're trying to build that up even more. We're running more of those transfers now and getting back into operation with that. We currently run 3 shifts, A, B, and C. They're a 24/48 schedule. They work 1 day on and 2 days off. We have 9 personnel per shift with a minimum staffing level of 9 per day. We use PRN staff to cover all the days off and transfers. And that's one of the big issues that we still have with EMS. We've discussed with the city management and with our consultant, looking at future staffing models. Sometimes we're heavily reliant on the PRNs to cover any days off that our personnel take, whether that's vacation, sick time, holidays, any time they take off, we have to use PRNs. So,
For members of the audience, what is a PRN?
I'm sorry, it's a part-time personnel that we use as needed. They're paid on a different wage scale. They don't typically receive any benefits from us, but we have some of those they're really working full-time hours to cover the days off because we have so many people. Well, as I said, we have 29. We start trying to cover those days off on those trucks. We have to have PRN personnel working every day to cover those. What we hope to be able to do in the future is hire at least a couple of more per shift full-time so that we're not as heavily reliant on the PRN. The problem with part-time personnel is that they're not beholden to us, and a lot of times they have other jobs. So if they're not available to work, then we have to force someone else to stay overtime and cover that slot, which is really not workable long-term. That's one of the issues we've had getting back into doing these transfers full-time is a lot of our PRN people that really want to work, they're covering the holes on the shifts. So that's something that we hope to rectify in the future, and we're looking at what kind of offset that's going to be between the benefits and the full-time pay and all of that, what we need to look at. But that's what we want to work towards. We're currently running 8,800 calls for service as of last year. That's 2025. That averages 25 calls per day, every day, 365 days a year. So they're busy. They're really busy. The things that the EMS does for Lamar County and the citizens of Paris, we run all the medical emergencies, we assess all the patients, we treat, we stabilize as much as possible, we provide a safe and rapid transport, we do, like I said, the inter-facility transports as we can, And we do a lot of medical standbys and a lot of public education as well. We're out constantly doing public education and just being involved in the community. All right, the facilities and the fleet right now, we are running 8 MICU capable ambulances. That's MICU is mobile intensive care units. All of those units are capable of that. We've got 2 support vehicles, and then we've got 4 stations. 3 of them are standalone, and 1 of them the EMS shares with the fire department, which is Station 4 out on Jefferson Road. All right, moving from there, we're going to move into the fire department. I'm going to make this really quick. I know y'all got a lot on your agenda tonight, so the fire department is structured basically the same, except we have a lot more people. We have a lot more heavier apparatus to cover that requires more people on them. We have 52 certified personnel ranging anywhere from me to firefighter, and we have 1 administrative assistant in the fire department. Operations, we have 3 fire stations there, staffed 24/7 for the 911 responses as well. Same 3 shifts, A, B, and C. We're currently on a 48-96 schedule with the fire department. That's 2 days on, 4 days off. We have 16 personnel per shift, but we have a minimum staffing of 14 per day. That gives us that little bit of wiggle room there to where we don't have to rely on so much overtime to adequately staff the trucks. We have a couple of extra seats there that we're able to fill, and I hesitate to use that term extra seats because we really need those bodies, but we're able to carry on and get the job done with 2 less most of the time. The fire department ran 4,842 calls for service in 2025. What the fire department does is they handle all types of fires, whether that's structures, vehicle, grass, brush, etc. All types of rescue, anything from heavy rescue to light rescue, motor vehicle accidents, fire scene searches, lost persons. We go out for just about any type of rescue you can imagine, and we do that countywide as well. We also have a regional hazmat response team. We are heavily funded by the COG on some of our equipment originally, and we agreed to be a regional response team should anybody in our COG require that assistance. We also have a regional response team that handles dive emergencies as well, and thankfully most of the time we get called out on that to other counties. It's for vehicle retrievals and things like that, but we are capable of doing almost any type of rescue in that situation. We also do a TIFMA statewide response for wildland fires. We participate in that heavily as we can, as our staffing levels allow. That's really a good deal for the city as well, because if I send 2 firefighters to West Texas for wildland emergencies, the state of Texas pays their salaries and they pay the backfill for our employees that are covering their slots. So in essence, we're getting those 2 employees for free while they're gone. It does put a burden on our people trying to cover that time off, but there is a benefit to the city for us to be able to do that as well. So we try to participate in that as much as we can. We also assist Paris EMS with medical emergencies, the more critical care calls inside the city limits of Paris. And then we do a lot of miscellaneous calls for service. We do a lot of lift assist, arcing power lines and such as that. And just to show you an overview of the facilities there, Station 1 is located on North Main, 1444. And that's where we house most of the apparatus that we have. We've got Engine 1, and I've got all the dates there listed, but I mean, I'm not going to read all those off to you. You can see those. Engine 1 is 2015, but the rescue unit is the one we were just able to purchase with this last tax note that y'all passed for us. And its projected delivery time on that's 48 months. We do have a new, DC-1 is a command vehicle. We have the brush truck there. We've got a new aerial apparatus coming that should be here hopefully by the end of June. 30 to 45 days, we should have that in place. We also have a special ops vehicle that we use to tow our hazmat and our dive trailers with. The hazmat trailer, the special ops vehicle, all those things were bought with grant money from the federal government, so there's another good thing. We really work hard to get grants where we can to get some of this equipment. Unfortunately, the grants aren't there for the really expensive $1 million pieces of equipment, but we get everything we can off of grants. We've also got the 2 rescue boats. And as I said, the hazardous materials trailer and the dive operations trailer. We have 7 personnel minimum at that station. Those are usually staffed. The deputy chief's vehicle is staffed with 1, rescue has 2, and then engine 1 has 4 people. If they need the aerial or those others, then the guys have to play musical trucks and jump to whatever is needed at the time. All right, this is our oldest station. This is Fire Station 3. It's 2009 Bonham Street. This is one that will probably need to be considered for replacement relatively soon. I mean, relative being a really big word in that situation. This station was built in 1965. It was built for 2 people. It currently houses 3 people in there, and quarters are really, really tight. This is one of the reasons why we've had to buy custom fire engines, because that station is so small that you can't take what they call a stock truck and put in that station. It has to be a certain size or the doors won't even close. It won't go under the doors, and then you can't close the doors on the front or the back of it either. Because
So that costs the city money, right? Because you have to customize the trucks that we order.
Yes, sir. It's more expensive, and it takes a little longer to get it as well because it won't fit in the station. So, and that is the engine that we ordered most recently was engine 3 for this station. So, that's something I would recommend for future consideration is as we go down the road and progress to consider replacing this station, because it is so old and it's held up really well, and it's had some major remodel work done to it, but it still has its issues as well, being we're talking a 60-year-old building now. So. And housed there is engine 3 and brush 3, and as I said, it's got a minimum of 3 personnel in that station. Then we've got Station 4, which was our newest station built. This station was opened in 2001, and it's out there by Paris Junior High and the walking track. It currently houses Quint 4, which is a 75-foot ladder. It's kind of a backup ladder device. It also houses our brush truck. That brush truck is the one we just ordered for replacement as well. This brush truck here was a truck that we got on a state grant as well. We were able to get that in 2012, but it's about worn out. This is the station we also share with the Paris EMS, and it has an EMS medic unit in it. We have 4 fire department personnel and 2 paramedics in that station. All right, that's pretty much the overview of the facilities and the trucks. A couple other things I want to just touch on real quick. Last year, in April of last year, we implemented a squad response for a lot of these medical calls. We started using a brush truck with 2 personnel for the lower acuity calls, some of the lift assists, some of the smaller calls that didn't need 4 people going on it. And we did that because we were having a lot of issues with our older apparatus. We were spending a lot of money keeping those things running, $75,000 a year just to keep the trucks running. So this had a little bit of a mixed response from our personnel. There's always concerns when we have changes, but they stepped up, they worked their way through this, and they've made it a very viable program for us to this point. In fiscal year 2024, we spent $10,100 a month on average just to keep these older trucks running. Fiscal year 2025, it was at $8,800 a month. Then after we started running the squads in April, that dropped down to $3,300 a month average since April of last year to this time. So that's a significant decrease and a significant savings in our budget, and hopefully that's going to extend the useful life of this apparatus till we can get them replaced. I mean, we've got them all ordered. We're on track to get everything replaced. I'm really proud of that. It's taking a lot of time to get it here. Now, this is one of the things that I'm most proud of for our department and our city. We recently went through the Insurance Services Office, the Public Protection Classification Survey. They typically survey cities every 10 years. This is what sets our insurance rates for businesses and homes inside the city of Paris. All right, the last rating we had occurred in 2014. They come in and they conduct an extensive survey, and you can see how it's scored there. It's based on the fire department capabilities and readiness, which is 50% of the overall score, our water supply, which is 40%, and our dispatch, which is 10% of that. And this gives you the grades and tells you the points that you have to get to receive each score. Prior to this survey, we were at a 3, which means we were over 70, between 70 and 79.99. I am extremely happy to report to you, I have the final results from the ISO, and we have improved this to a Class 2.
Amen.
I'm very proud of this because this shows the teamwork of the city of Paris and all of our employees, because the fire department couldn't do this by itself. As you saw, the fire department's only half of that score. And we still struggled. I mean, I'm not going to exaggerate this. We made barely over 80. We weren't 81. We were 80 point some change. So we were barely there. But that came about because the guys worked hard. They met the training requirements that they could meet. Dispatch is doing a phenomenal job. The water department, on the water, this truly is a team effort on the water. Our water supply is able to put out the necessary gallonage that we need for the protection in this area. Our water distribution handled through Public Works. All the supply systems are good. My guys go out and flow these hydrants and maintain these hydrants every year. When they break down, Public Works goes out there and they fix these hydrants. This is truly a team effort. Water had almost a perfect score. I mean, that's almost unheard of. So I'm just very, very proud of the teamwork that everybody in this city does to make these things work for our people, especially considering the budget constraints and everything else that we've all been under. This is a really big deal to me, and I just couldn't be prouder. Now, there are a few points that I do want to make on this. They did do what they call as a split rating now. This is a 2X. Any properties within 5 miles of a fire station and within 1,000 feet of a water supply gets the 2. If you're within 5 miles and outside of 1,000 feet from a water hydrant or from a fire hydrant, it's a 2X. I can tell you I have mapped this out using all of our maps. All of our properties are within the 5 road miles. Let me clarify that. It's 5 road miles of a fire station. Even if we go all the way out to the country club, to Amherst Court in that area, they're within the 5 miles as well of a fire station. So everybody meets that. There may be a very few on the outside edges, some of the far distance that we may have to work towards to get that water to them, but they are all within that 5 miles as well. So this is a very big deal for our residents and for our businesses and everything in the city of Paris that we were able to improve that classification. As I said, future expansion of the water supply will bring that, and I know our Public Works Department has been working really hard on getting that water supply spread out as they can and getting it extended to the areas that needs it. So I think we're in really good shape on that. And this just shows you what the distribution of those scores are nationwide. If you look nationwide, Class 2s, there are only 2,004 of those. There's only 498 Class 1s, so there's 498 rated departments in the United States that scored any better than we did. And I'll say this, but the only way we could get better, according to the people at ISO, was we would have to basically have a whole nother fire station with 15 more people and another fire engine to ever get to that Class 1. I mean, it's a huge investment, and it's a huge time consideration for the city to ever get there. So I think for a city our size, dealing with the constraints we deal with, I think that this is really good. State of Texas, as you can see, there's 96 Class 1s, and most of those are going to be around the Dallas area. There's a lot of those because they're able to put manpower on scenes that I can't, because they have neighboring cities right next door, right across the street from them, and they're sharing resources, and they're bringing fire engines and firefighters in from other cities that help them boost that score up. But you can see that there's only 323 Class 2s in the state of Texas as well. So as I said, I'm very proud of that. And with that, I'll close out my presentation, and I'll be glad to take any questions that any of you have.
Council, any questions?
I just had one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you this might not be a good market for it, but leasing equipment for fire engines, or is that just a Dallas, like a
I can't say, I've never investigated that, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Okay, just wondering. Thanks.
So I don't have a question, but I do have an observation. You know, just as a resident, you drive by the fire station, you drive by the EMS, it looks like they're just sitting there most of the time until you hear the sirens go off or, you know, it happens to you. But you said 9,000, in 2025, 9,000 EMS calls. That's 25 calls per day, more than one per hour. And 5,000 fire calls, 14 daily, every 1.7 hour, y'all are going out.
Yes, sir.
And that doesn't even account for the time that you travel and spend there. And I know EMS, if they have to take someone to the ER, they have to stay there for a certain amount of time until they're released. So that's a lot.
Yes, sir.
That's a lot. So that stood out to me, and I just wanted to highlight that you know, people don't think that, you know, the trucks are moving, but they are moving.
They are moving, and our people are working hard for our citizens.
Yes, that's great. And all of our first responders, not just fire and EMS, but all of our first responders.
Chief, I just want to take a moment and just say thank you to all of our first responders, fire, EMS, police, and anyone else. There are so many that are not celebrated enough, I feel like, even from a dispatch standpoint or even public works. I mean, all of our city staff is extremely essential, but you guys are that core elite that I want to make sure you guys know that we really appreciate you all. And especially, you know, I just want to share one thing. After those storms this last 2 weeks, my goodness, you guys were in a deadly situation where you're having surges left, right, center, everywhere throughout the community, and you guys were responding to every one of those calls. I even was out at 11 p.m. one night at one of those calls just to kind of make sure and observe, see how things are going, and my goodness, I mean, you guys are on it. So I just want to say thank you all for what you do, and we're really proud of that ISO rating. That means insurance savings for our house, for our homeowners, our citizens. That's a huge victory, and I think that our citizens, I want them to know that. I want them to understand what kind of victory that is. That's huge. We want to keep going down that path, but that's because we're intentional about making sure that we have better services, better folks within our city staff that are really focusing on moving the ball forward for our community. So this is huge, and really happy with what you guys are doing.
Thank you.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right, we will now move on to agenda item number 14, discuss and act on an ordinance amending the traffic control map, control map block, changing a block of First Street Northeast to one-way near the Boys and Girls Club.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, thank you for letting me speak on this. Sometime in early March, the director of the Boys Club, Reginald Hughes, wanted to meet with the engineering department and the police department and Public Works to discuss situations they were having a problem with safety for the people unloading at the Boys Club. We all sat down with Mr. Hughes, had a long discussion, went and looked at the traffic study as it was going through during the day, noticed a lot of situations where people were in excess speed going through there that they shouldn't be in different items. Chief Salter came up with a design, and we all reviewed it to basically change that road between Hickory Street and Center Street in front of the Boys Club to a one-way going north. That would facilitate 2 lanes of them being able to exit the cars with an island in the middle that the children in that area would be able to safe and not being hit by cars and stuff. Engineering kind of looked at the estimate as far as cost. You're looking probably around $2,000 for striping and a few signs for the safety of the kids, and everybody in the engineering and public works and police department thinks that's the best way to go with this. It would be entering from Hickory Street and exiting it on Center and turning left out of Center Street back to North Main.
Council,
If y'all have any questions?
Any questions or any discussion on this item?
This is a 24-hour.
24-hour,
right?
yes.
Okay, it's not time sensitive. Okay, yeah, and we need to do something. We just had to make sure, because in the past, some of the ideas, we could not do, really. I mean, I don't think the state would allow us to do them, but this is a great idea.
They will have an island in the middle of about 5 foot, 6 foot wide, and then striping to where the cars will stop and pick up the kids, and then they will move north out onto Center Street. So it should help the situation a great deal without having the possibility of children being struck by cars.
I do hope that that island does help also with the positivity of the Boys and Girls Club for decor and just being able to have some
Right.
landscaping. That even makes it an even more friendly place to kind of enter, you know? So I think this is a much needed, great improvement. Anyone else? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we accept the changing of First Northeast to one-way.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you
you.
so much, Mr. Hodges. Agenda item number 15, discuss, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance considering the petition of James O'Brien, DVM, for a zoning change from a single-family dwelling SF2 district to a general retail GR district with a special use permit SUP for veterinary clinic, large animals, LCAD 13152, Mayor Edition, Block 8, Lots 1 and 2, 3147 Bonham Street. Staff, do you have a presentation?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this is typically a zoning application, but before that, this application has to look at the current situation with the zoning district of that property. So this property at 3147 is currently zoned retail to the front facing Bonham. The lower portion is residential. And so that is what is before you today. The applicant is requesting to finish the lower portion to make it all retail. And under retail zoning district, it is required that this type of request with the veterinary clinic, large animals, be under specific use permit application. And so that is what is before you today. This application went to the Planning and Zoning Commission last week, Monday, and they reviewed the application and came out with a recommendation to approve the application 6-0. Before the application was heard, staff has received 8 inputs from neighboring property owners against this application, and there are 3 in favor of the application. And so our staff recommendation is to approve this special specific permit application and allow the operation of a vet clinic to take place. In terms of it being a specific unit, these operations shall expire upon the cessation of this veterinary clinic business by use on by the applicant on the 5th anniversary of the date of this ordinance, if it is approved, and whichever way the first occurs. And number 3, the buffer requirements between a residential use and that of a commercial or retail that may conflict with use type has to be in place to reduce probably noise or any other obstruction of use of property adjoining. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Amo-Mensah. I want to go ahead and open up the public hearing and ask for anyone wishing to speak on this item in support or opposition to please come forward.
And the applicant is here, so.
Fantastic, thank you.
Wanda Ashcraft McFadden, and
myself, my family, and my neighbors are very much against this change. My husband and I, we have 4 granddaughters, 9, 7, 5, and 4. We have 2 nieces and a nephew that live a few houses down. The kids are 8 and 3. There are other children in the area, up to teenagers. We have a wide range of people in this area. We want this to remain a safe family dwelling for our grandchildren, nieces, nephews, children, all of them. And we would be interested to know if the standards of practice have been considered with this change for a large animal veterinary clinic, which would include castration, euthanasia, the body parts, and the medical waste, and the dead animal carcasses that result from this type of business. How will they be disposed of? Will they be buried? Will they be incinerated? And if it was next to your home, would you want this right next door with children around and having to smell this? And as far as fecal matter, how is this going to be disposed of? And how often? Is there any rules or regulations regarding this? What assurances for us as residents around this property that our quality of life is not going to be negatively influenced? So yes, we are very, very much against the findings and recommendations to this committee. And if we can't get any answers today, when will we get them on what is being considered and how it's going to affect the residents around it? Because you can change the zone, but it doesn't change how we live, how we use our property, being able to go outside and enjoy it. So we would like some answers, please, before you do this, before you take this recommendation and imagine yourself next door to it, because it's very important for little children. Grandparents, we work too, we pay taxes too, and we want to have a good quality of life, as I'm sure you, each and every one of you do as well. So, when can we get some answers on these issues? Because this is just a few. We've had a long list of issues that we presented on the paperwork that was turned in. We never got anything back on our responses. So it just, okay, we approved to move to the next point, like today, but we're not getting any answers, and we would like some. You have anything to add?
No, it's, well, last meeting, last Monday, it was approved to move to the next step, and no answers given. It was just, we vote, and today, here we are.
If we may, we'll let Dr. O'Brien come up and speak here in just a moment, but let's see what he has to say also. Absolutely.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to hear his
Yes,
answers.
ma'am. Absolutely. I think this process can be a good civil process. We just want to be able to hear each other out. You're absolutely correct. Yes, ma'am. Is there anyone else?
I'll just say, I'm also a homeowner in that area. I have 8 grandkids, and I don't know Dr. Bryan, but I believe he lives across the street from that property. Okay, and several years ago, I know his kids were out playing, and he put up signs for slow traffic for kids playing, and then he complained in the neighborhood about loud vehicles, but now he wants to put a business in a residential area, and we're very much against it.
Ma'am, could I get your name for the record?
Joyce Faulkner.
Thank you.
215 31st Southwest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Faulkner.
Yes, I live at 3205 Bonham Street, right next to that lot. And I'm a firm believer if you've got...
Sorry, what's your name again?
Jerry Williams.
Okay. Thank you.
But,
Oh, go ahead. Proceed, please.
I'm a firm believer if you've got property and you pay taxes on it, and you want to do something with it, you should be able to. As long as you're not going overboard and, trashing up the property and all that, too bad. But as far as like, if it stinks and stuff, we've got goats and donkeys right on the other side of Kaufman Street. So I don't think that's going to really affect it too much. As far as families go, I would gladly send my kids over there to learn and be involved.
We
So-
have three. They're 17, 12, 8. So we do have young kids. We do live right next door to it. We're not opposed to him building it that. They can go learn something. They can help clean and maybe earn extra money. Who knows? But I mean, it's not gonna. I understand everybody has kids. We're outside a lot. Honestly, I don't really see a lot of kids up towards this. I see his kids out, my kids out. I see neighbors playing, but they're usually on the other side. So I don't see it being a problem. And like he said, we have animals everywhere, all kinds anyways. So what's a few more?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Donna Allen.
Sorry, if you don't mind speaking into that mic there.
Sorry.
You can even adjust it if you need to, feel free.
I'm Donna Allen, and I live just a few doors down from what he's talking about. My concern is there's where the kids go get the buses, they go right down that street. And where he's wanting to, I understand where he's wanting to drive and get into his property is going to be where the school buses let the kids out at school, okay? There, in the concern I also have is the traffic going through there and the kids getting hurt. I don't want the smell, and I think it's going to devalue our property by having it there. And I do not want it. And I don't think that means anything to anybody, but I don't want it. And there's several other neighbors don't want it. And where it stopped off on the map, it didn't include the people that have the kids down the street, where they didn't have a chance to say anything. And it's not right. And any other veterinary clinics like this are not in an area where residents are there. They're out. And I don't understand why he's doing this. I know he lives across the street, and I know it's convenient for him because he does live across the street, and he wants his veterinary clinic where it is. And I understand that. But I also don't understand, he also come and tried to talk to people about why we was against it, and I don't understand how he got that information. And I didn't appreciate that.
Hello, Mayor, Council. My name is Richard Thompson. I live at 3206 Bonham Street, which is right across the street from this place. That is all zoned for retail, commercial. That's a nice big 2-acre lot. I can't predict the future. Nobody in here can. I can't tell you if it's going to be noisy. I can't tell you if it's going to smell. I don't know. Nobody does. One thing I do know, something's going to be built on this lot. You go across the street, you have neighborhood services on 2 lots. You have office. Down 32nd Street, you have more office building. It's commercial now. It's going to go that way. The west side is building slowly, but we are going to something. So this might not be the best thing in the world, but I think it's going to be a lot better than having to, say, a coin-op car wash that can be open 24 hours a day, and big lights and all that. Something will be built. It's developing. I mean, it's inevitable. I think this might be better fit for the neighborhood, under control, not 24 hours a day. There could be apartments built. There could be a convenience store. It qualifies for everything. Times are changing. So I highly recommend we do this instead of a car wash. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Try to make this brief. Thank you, council members, for being here tonight. I am the applicant, As has been mentioned, I live across the street. This is my front yard. So I want to put all in context a lot of the concerns. I wouldn't do anything to depreciate home values or smells. There's been some talk about horse flies. Let me be specific. The application for the special use has to be large animal. It can't tell you what species you're going to be seeing in there. I don't see cattle. If that alleviates some concern. This will be mostly horses. We still live in an agricultural society here. Lamar County services is about, 913 square miles? Sound about right? Which I service mobily right now, so I need a facility. I know Taylor Rides has been really excited about this. I try to help them out a lot. But like it was mentioned, change is happening here in Paris. It always happens, it always has happened, and it always will. Some people embrace that change. Some people lack the plasticity to go along with those changes. It's a little bit tough for them. But something's going to be built on this lot. It's inevitable. After the notification letter was sent out, it took me a little while to get out to my neighbors, about a week and a half. I was a little busy. And I finally got out there, and the neighbors were talking to each other, and they had expressed their concerns to each other. And by the time I got around them, some of them had made up their minds. And their concerns were so serious. You know how many of my neighbors with those serious concerns came and talked to me? None. Nobody came and talked to me. They jumped to conclusions. And we've heard some of those tonight, okay? And I hope I can alleviate some of that. I mean, I understand the decreased home value. That hasn't been mentioned here tonight, but some did mention that. We know that development usually increases home value. So if we're going to make that argument, I'd say, hey, I don't want my taxes any higher. Let's not increase my home value. As far as the smells are concerned, George's donkey lives 200 feet away. I mean, they feed the donkey. I mean, it's not like the flies are going to be any more prevalent there. There's been compost over there. I've been gardening for over 3 years now. There won't be any more manure there. As far as body parts being there and horses being buried, no, there's EPA regulations against that. Anything that comes in goes out, okay? I think some of the arguments hold no water. Just based on, we already have agriculture there. It's really prevalent. The community needs this. There are no other veterinarians in this area that are serving as horses or have the facilities. And I need a facility to do that in order to be able to provide the proper care for them, taking into account, again, I live across the street. This is my front yard. I wouldn't do anything to depreciate my own home value or to cause any issues with my neighbor. So we have a choice here tonight, okay? We can go along with the future land use map that we've decided on several years ago. We can choose something that's kind of a buffer zone property, that's low impact to the area, that's owned by a local family that's lived here, that gives generously back to the community from this local business, or it can go somewhere else, something higher impact, gas station, fire station, maybe, something like that. But all of my clients are excited about this facility. We need this facility here. And it is somewhat a convenience that was mentioned. Yeah, it'd be nice to not have to drive 10 miles in the middle of the night to manage a horse. It'd be nice to go home to my family. It'd be nice to continue to use my practice as an educational facility. When we talk about kids, that's kind of what I do here with Cub Scouts. So we teach a lot. And so I would challenge people that oppose with the kid argument, embrace this. Let's teach them, let's educate them, let's guide the future. I'll be happy to take any questions you may have.
I'm sorry, ma'am, sorry. We can't have that dialogue back and forth.
But 3150 Bonham Street, please come over and talk to me anytime. My front door is always open. Please talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in the public forum here? If not, I'm going to go ahead and close the public forum and hand it back to council for any questions, any discussion that we have.
So the only question I have, I can't remember the lady's name, but she said they had a long list of questions that never went answered. Did you receive those questions, or who received those questions or concerns?
I guess the husband has come to me, and we have sat down. He came in, I guess it was during the P&Z meeting. He came in, asked a lot of questions. I gave him answers. He followed up in my office. We sat down and asked all the questions, and I gave him very significant information that he needs. So I think I've answered all the technical questions that he needed, and what is left is before you to make that decision.
Okay, I was just concerned because she said that she had a lot of questions that went unanswered, and some of the neighbors seem to have the same perspective, so I'm just trying to see what the disconnect is and why we're here today with that
I
disconnect.
don't think there's a disconnect because the husband came in and we sat down in my office. All the questions that he asked were answered. So I don't actually know. I did not talk to her directly, but the husband came in and we talked extensively. If he has not given the information that he received, that is another issue. But he's here, and we sat in my office for almost less than an hour to discuss the whole issue.
How can the citizens that live in that area get the regulations? Because that came up a couple of times. They have concerns about burying or things like that. I don't know anything about what you would do, as far as when you euthanize animals, but they do have the question. So how would they get the regulations? How would they know this? Because obviously they don't.
In actual fact, what we zoning look at is not the technical function of the business, but we make sure that if there is any objections to, let's say, the function of the business affecting adjoining properties, let's say residential versus commercial, or any retail function that will affect the proper use of an adjoining property, we put in conditions to make sure it doesn't affect a property owner adjoining. And that is where we have this specific use permit for the applicant to look at and make sure he doesn't put in a place or a situation where it will affect other adjoining properties. In this situation, the neighbors are thinking that it will affect them, but it will not, based on the applicant's decision.
And as for specific regulations that have to do with veterinary clinics, those are not city of Paris regulations. Those are going to be state regulation.
It sounds like to me, given the concerns and given everything that we have in our backup here, I mean, not to lower the concerns here by any means, but I think everything looks like it's been done by ordinance and by law. I mean,
yeah.
And the one thing that I do want to definitely address is the notion of, hey, the folks down the street didn't get the same letter, and I think by the ordinance and by law, you have to have like it was a 250
foot radius.
Yeah, and so that's part of the reason why. That's an education thing, and I definitely want to put that out there more. I think that is something that is a concern for a lot of folks. This isn't the first time we've definitely heard this during P&Z, but by ordinance and by state statute, we have to follow that.
And it's also published in the newspaper.
Perfect. I mean, I'll just give you my perspective on this. Look, Dr. O'Brien has a pretty reputable clinic. I don't have any pets, but one day I hope to have a pet. I've heard nothing but great things about his clinic. I do hope that Dr. O'Brien has heard some of these concerns and is able to have a more amicable discussion, a more healthy discussion with a lot of the neighbors. I please implore a good relationship there. But I do think that this could bring value to our community. Probably not the most ideal location, but I understand the situation, and it's been a vacant lot for quite some time. It might be a good addition to that area and maybe even bring in a little bit more of attraction of potential revenue in the future, whether it be commercial or what have you. But that's one step further to have more growth on the west side of town that's other than housing, right? That's my kind of 2 cents, my opinion on the matter, but I'm in support of it.
I agree. I think a lot of that Bonham Street. Some of it is zone commercial. I do think if it's, and it being right across the street from his house, I do think that he wouldn't build anything that would devalue his own homestead, so I'm in favor of it.
Well, I live in a questionable neighborhood, and I have to be in support of the neighbors with a zoning change. So.
Anyone else?
I think it's important to note about Dr. O'Brien living across the street, that weighs a lot. Certainly the concerns of the neighborhood weigh a lot. This seems like a low-impact business if you're going to want business on that side of town in that area. I feel like it's a low impact. As you said, there could be a grocery store there. There could be a convenience store, with traffic and lights. So I really think it's important to get that side built up, and this is a good way to do it with a good man that will be considerate of everyone.
I'm a little torn. Me too. I'm in favor with it's, I understand the residents, people that lives there. It's hard walking into this situation and hearing that, but I don't know. I would hate for something like that to be in that area. We, like you say, west side need to be built up with some kind of business over there, but I'm not for sure if this is the business. I know there's a friend of mine that works at, and I don't know how veterinary clinics work, but I know a friend of mine that works at Zach Therapy. His wife built the new one out there on the loop, and I don't know. It's nice, but like I say, I know the veterinarian guy, like I said, will keep it up, hopefully, but as far as a neighbor, I don't know if we got to build it up somehow, some way, but I don't know if that's the business for it, that area.
Mayor Pro Tem Savage, you have anything?
Just what I stated earlier, the concerns of the citizens, and I'm like Stacy, I'm torn because I preach West Paris all the time, so we need things over in West Paris, but I agree with him. I'm not sure if this is the thing that you need, and I know we kind of joked about other, convenience stores. Well, when you put something in a neighborhood, it ought to impact that neighborhood. It ought to help that neighborhood. Well, I'm not sure a veterinary clinic that primarily handles horses is going to really impact anybody in that neighborhood. I know a lot of people that live in that neighborhood, and I'm over there a lot, so I don't see the impact for the neighborhood, and he doesn't have to impact the neighborhood, but I'm just saying I see the citizens' concerns, and then they see negativity in it, so I'm really not in favor of it.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for any motion that any council member has.
Can we do this? Can we table this until maybe some of the neighbors can get with Dr. O'Brien, and then we bring it back? Is that something that we can talk about? Maybe some of their questions will be answered, or hopefully.
What you would need to do is reopen the public hearing and then not take any more testimony, but keep it open, and that would keep us from having to republish and renotice. But yes, you can do that.
We need to have a vote for that, to reopen it, or we can just go ahead and reopen.
You're the chair, you can go ahead and reopen it.
If that's what everybody want to do.
Yeah, I mean, is that something that council is in favor of?
Well, I would like to say, the Planning and Zoning Committee voted 6-0 on this, and we nominate them. We put them on that board to help us guide with that. So it sounds like there wasn't as much concern with them as there is with us. But if tabling would make everybody more comfortable with it, and certainly the community, then I'm for that.
And you know, to that point, we can go ahead and vote. I'm fine with that, but the point you made about P and Z, out of respect, I'm glad you said that, out of respect to P and Z, I respect what they do. We did appoint them. But if we're gonna just rubber stamp what P and Z tells us, then why do we have a council? So, we have to speak for ourselves and for the citizens that we represent.
Sure. I don't mind, on a personal, I don't mind tabling this item if we have to. I don't have a horse in the race. But, sorry, I just had to at least put that out there. I don't really have an issue with that. I think that more discussion is actually more of a positive thing. I think that we need to have that discussion. That's okay. Let's get that discussion underway. And I believe that Dr. O'Brien should be able to help to alleviate those stressors, but let's entertain that, in my opinion. I think that's a good thing to support.
Does Dr. O'Brien already have a building plan for it? You do, with the dimensions and?
Yeah, I think we've got it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's right there.
So, you go ahead and ask it if you want.
If I may, real quick, I want to note, I think there's been a lot of focus on large animal because of the special use permit. Please understand that that involves mixed animals, so it will include dogs and cats to benefit the community, directly benefit the community. It has to go under that permit. There is no, it's either special use permit for small animal, or no, just regular, and then large animal. That is so you can do, in order to do small animal and large animal, it has to go under the large animal. The intent is to do both, to continue to do mine now. So where I'm at now, I don't have the facilities, and I don't think that would pass to rezone where I'm at now.
Where are you at now currently?
2725 Bonham, or Clarksville Street, where Cozy Cappuccino is and the Villages Shopping Center. There's not enough room to do that. There's no room to expand onto that area to do it. That's why I do everything mobily. And I'll have to stop doing it mobily eventually, so there won't be a veterinarian to do it.
Dr. O'Brien, one quick question. Would that clinic that you currently have, would that be closed down and you just primarily have this as your clinic?
Yes.
Okay. So your operations ideally would probably just move here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would be the benefit, and bring more people into that area of all of my small animal clients as well, which is a primarily small animal. So, thank you.
Thank you. Before we get to that, bear with us for just a moment. I want to kind of redirect this conversation back to what Mayor Pro Tem Savage had entertained of potentially taking this moment to go ahead and open up the public hearing once more. Is there any opposition to this? If not, then I'd love to go ahead and entertain a motion.
So if we open up the public hearing, does that extend the public hearing now, or?
You'll put it on a future agenda to, hopefully, the first, you need to say when you're extending it to, which would be either the first meeting in June or the second meeting in June.
We're going to need a motion to table.
Right.
They're gonna have to open the public
So,
hearing first.
I'm going to go ahead and just open up the public hearing, and then I would like to go ahead and ask council if that's the way that we want to move forward, then we need a motion to go ahead and table the item.
Okay, with that, I make a motion to table the item for the next June meeting.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. So just for clarification, we've tabled this item, so that way there's further discussion that can be had between the developer and the neighbors to make sure that there's meaningful dialogue and hopefully an amicable discussion. And then we should be able to come back on June 8th and reignite this conversation and hopefully come to a conclusion on this matter. All righty? Okay. We will go ahead and move on to agenda item number 16. Discuss, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Floyd and Joanne Williams for a specific use permit, SUP, for single-family residential use in a neighborhood service district, LCAD, 39410, City of Paris, Block 53, Lot 1, 446 Northwest 7th Street. Mr. Almanza?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this is a specific use permit application, and the current zoning district is neighborhood district, which the applicant is requesting to put this house on there. To do that in a neighborhood service district, it must come under a specific use permit. And so this case was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission last week, Monday, and they voted to recommend approval 6-0. And that is what is before you today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I will go ahead and take this opportunity to open the public hearing and ask for anyone wishing to speak on this item to please come forward, whether you're in opposition or in favor of, to just come forward and state your name and address for the record.
I'm Floyd Williams, my wife Joanne Williams. And I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please proceed.
We're here today to try and get the zoning changed in regards to 446 West 7th Street from commercial to a single-family dwelling.
Alrighty. Anyone have any questions for the developer here? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this item? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and close the public forum here. Council, any discussion, any questions on this matter? And if not, we'll go ahead and open the floor for a motion.
I make the motion that we pass item 16.
We got a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Agenda item number 17, discuss, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Nathan Spalding of Lone Star Plan Development LLC for a comprehensive plan amendment from medium-density residential, MDR, to high-density residential, HDR, LCAD portions of 18904, 109-966, and all of the 108-321, and from low-density residential LDR to commercial on Tract A, LCAD 102-969, City of Paris Block 351, Lot 9A, and PT of 9, and Block 352, Lot PT of 7, located north and east of the Forest Brook Estate Division. Mr. Almanza?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this is the applicant Nathan Spalding of Lone Star Plan Development, and it has to do with his plant unit development, and he is currently coming forward to add some lots to add to the existing plant development that he's having over there. Now, the situation is that it is not a whole lot of a bulk lot type, but they are separate lots in different areas. For him to be able to do so, this has to come through the comprehensive plan amendment process. So in doing so, those areas are currently medium density residential, and he's wanting to change them to high density residential. Those specific lots with LCAD numbers provided over there are those lots that are in question that are going to be added to the existing PD showing. So if you see the map over there, the yellow portion legend is those lots that he's going to add to the PD. And if you look at the lower portion over here, it's showing that it is going from medium density to high density. And that is what is before you today. There will be a zoning change application at the next level meeting, next one, and that will take charge of the whole zoning to add to a PD zoning district. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I want to go ahead and open up the floor for anyone that would like to come and speak in favor or against this item, to please come forward and state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members and staff. My name is Nathan Spalding with Lone Star Plan Developments. Thank you for your time tonight. As Mr. Omense mentioned earlier, there's 3 different property, basically add-ons that we're looking here to add on to the Forest Brook development. The one on the north is just about 5 acres. It's adding on to the single family, kind of fix that corner there, make that area up there a little bit more usable, add 5 acres of single family. And then there's multifamily down there in red, just south of it, along the Forest Brook the planned Forest Brook Boulevard. And then the farthest south is an add-on to increase the size of the multifamily that's already planned within the plan development. And the theory behind this is if we get this zoned, all this property is within the TERS that was before you a couple months ago, or a matter of time ago. And the plan is if the zoning passes, we'll then, and the TERS moves forward, we'll purchase these properties to further invest in this Forest Brook area and the TERS in order to make that TERS more viable for the Forest Brook Boulevard. And so that's kind of the backstory for all of this. But if you have any questions on specifics on what is planned and for these areas, or have any questions, please let me know. I'll be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on this item? Okay, I will go ahead and close that public forum. Council, any discussion, any questions we have on this particular item? And if not, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the comprehensive plan amendment of item 17.
We got a motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Moving on to agenda item number 18, discuss, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Nathan Spalding of Lone Star Plan Development LLC for a zoning change from Agriculture A District to Plan Development PD District LCAD portions of 18904, 109-966, 102-969, and 108-321. City of Paris, Block 351, Lot 9A and PT of 9 in Block 352, Lot PT of 7, located north and east of the Forest Brook Estate subdivision. Mr. Almomensa.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this is the zoning portion of the application. The request is to change those areas that are zoned agricultural to add to the planned unit development. And so if you look down here, it's showing the green, and the upper portion where it's going to be added is also green. And so, however, there are certain areas already designated for commercial, which in the planned development, there are certain areas designated as commercial strip that is going to be commercial on this portion of the proposed development. And so that is what is before you today. Last week at the P&Z meeting, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval to this application, the zoning change, and that is what is before you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Almomensa. I want to go ahead and open up the floor for anyone that would like to speak for or against this item. Please come forward and state your name and address for the record. Okay, seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close that public forum. Council, any discussion, any questions on this particular item? If not, we'll go ahead and open up the floor for any motions.
I make a motion to approve the zoning change on item 18.
We've got a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0. Agenda item number 19, discuss, conduct a public hearing, and act on an ordinance considering the petition of Nair Behringer on behalf of M Root S LLC for a zoning change from an agricultural district A to commercial district C with a specific use permit for self-storage mini warehouse, LCAD 129890, City of Paris, Block 307C, Lot 2, located at 4037 North Main Street. Mr. Almomensa?
Thank you, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This is an application for a zoning change. The current zoning is agriculture, and there is an existing storage facility at this location. The applicant is requesting to add a tattoo shop to this facility. In doing so, it has triggered the existing storage facility because for it to happen, the storage facility has to come under an SUP in this commercial zoning district, and that is what is before you today. So whereas the tattoo parlor will be allowed in a commercial zoning district, the existing storage facility, mini storage, will have to come under SUP, specific use permit. And the Planning Commission met last week and they recommended approval to this application, 6-0. Thank you.
Mr. Almomensa, this agenda item does not discuss a tattoo parlor. It says as SUP for self-storage mini warehouse. Did the notices that went out to the adjacent properties mention tattoo parlor?
Not necessarily, because a tattoo parlor under commercial use is permitted as of right. So we don't have to even note it. I'm just giving it as an information. But it is the SUP, the self-storage facility.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, so the self-mini storage that has triggered it to come before you. If the zoning is commercial, the tattoo parlor does not have to come before you. It's permitted as of right. Thank you.
Thank you for explaining that to me.
Correct.
Maybe I'm the only one up here that didn't understand what was happening. Thank you.
Thank you for the point of clarification. Well, we'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. If anyone is interested in speaking on this item for or against, please come forward and state your name and address for the record. Okay, I will go ahead and close the public hearing. Council, any discussion on this item? Any questions that we have? And if none, we'll go ahead and open the floor for any motions that anyone has.
So I'm unclear on this too. The buildings that are in that, is that storage, the existing storage now?
Yes, please. So this.
So they want to expand?
No, they are not expanding it. The owner is going to use the front building for the tattoo parlor, but the existing storage are going to stay the same. This is just to follow the zoning regulations that under commercial district, such mini storage will have to be operated under specific use permit.
So storage is allowed under agricultural now? I'm confused.
Yes, so it is in itself, for this situation, it is a non-conforming use. The mini storage, it has been existence for long, and so it was never changed. So it has operated under non-conforming use. In other words, grandfathered.
It's grandfathered in. It's essentially an exception within the zoning
exception.
guidelines.
Okay.
But it will still require an SUP because of
The change in
parlor
zone. Yeah,
for that parcel of property.
yeah. The zoning change to commercial changes the allowable use permit to specific use permit. So,
Could you remind me, is there a timeline on this SUP also?
yes, there is that timeline which we have put on, but practically, it will not be so much fair to kind of implement this time restriction because the storage facility has been there, before. If it were to be a new one, then we will probably be strong and enforce that conditions, but it's been there already, so.
Okay. Any other questions?
It was up to the applicant to either take it or leave it, so they opted to go that way. But they prefer it going under SUP, so.
Anyone else have any questions? This is a fun one.
Confusing.
If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the zoning change from agricultural to commercial district on item 19.
We got a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries 6-0. All right. Agenda item number 20, discuss and act on an ordinance amending the the FY budget for 25-26. Mr. Marriott?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and Mayor Pro Tem. Wait till we get. Tonight, we are presenting to you a budget amendment for 25-26. Generally, we do not do mid-year amendments. However, this year, we decided that it was prudent to do so. We were told that there were numerous items that were omitted from the budget due to an issue between the new budget software and the old budget software. And there have been numerous items that have occurred since the budget was adopted, so we decided it made sense to go ahead and do an amendment. This will probably be more standard practice as we go forward. I think it makes more sense to do that than wait till the end of the year. So, overall, general fund revenues are projected to decrease by $414,000, approximately $414,000 from the original budget. Overall, general fund expenditures are expected to increase by approximately $1.4 million from the original budget. Some of the items that are increasing are police department expenditures are increasing by approximately $110,000. The largest factor in that was dispatcher stipends and related benefits. Fire department expenditures are projected to increase by $382,000 approximately. Once again, that is related to stipends and related benefits. EMS department expenditures are projected to increase by approximately $222,000. Once again, that is stipends and benefits. Parks department expenditures are projected to increase by $65,466. Most of that is related to the pump track lighting project that was funded from a RAM grant, a RAM Foundation grant. Community development expenditures increased by $159,312. That is related to a approximately $100,000 increase in housing demolitions, which was once again funded by a grant. Engineering department expenditures are increasing by $136,000. That is primarily due to the Belford parking lot project, which was not budgeted. And general and government and IT expenditures are increasing by $222,000. That is primarily due to tax grants. The water fund revenues are expected to fall short of the original budget by about $200,000. Water fund expenditures are expected to exceed the original budget by approximately $374,000. Most of that increase is in water billing and collection, $18,000, water distribution, $262,000, and water treatment, $80,246. Probably the biggest item of note from that amount, those amounts, are a meter replacement program for $100,000, $75,000 grant match on a CDBG grant, and $69,000 worth of capital that were omitted from the original budget. The airport fund is relatively stable. We're showing that both revenues and expenditures increasing by $15,655, so no impact to the bottom line. The grant fund revenues and expenditures are expected to exceed the original budget, or revenues, excuse me, by $215,448. That is due to a $69,000 increase in the auto theft task force grant reimbursements and a $146,000 increase in interfund transfers. Grant fund expenditures are expected to exceed the original budget by approximately $180,000, and that is driven by increases in reimbursements to other taxing jurisdictions under the auto theft task force grant. Say that 2 times fast. And then the auto theft program fund, basically we have a fund set up that handles revenues that are generated by the auto theft task force grant. And the revenues and expenditures are expected to exceed the original budget by $10,100 and $14,707 respectively. That's all I have to present. I'll be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Council, any questions? So I don't have a question, but I will say this. Thank you so much for detailing so much of this. We get a lot of questions from our constituents regarding, hey, how are we looking from a budget standpoint? Where are we at? You know, what are some anomalies that you're seeing? Here it is. You put it out there, and I really appreciate that. Secondly, I genuinely appreciate the partnership with RAM. I think that should be noted, and we really appreciate all that they do for our community, and especially in helping us to fulfill a lot of the goals that we have as a council and as a city in general. So appreciate all that RAM does, and hope they hear this. So,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, and if there isn't any questions, we do have to take a motion to approve these budget amendments.
Make the motion, we approve the budget amendments for the 2025-26 budget.
We've got a motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. We are now going to move on to agenda item number 21. Consider and approve future events for city council and/or city staff pursuant to resolution number 2004-081.
I have something.
Yes, ma'am.
So, we all like those feel-good things that we have in the world. We have a lot of serious stuff, but I just want to show you guys some highlights from our special needs prom that John put together for us.
Yeah, that was good.
Look at all those dance moves. These are great.
Really, we're dancing.
Yeah, we have a great police force.
You kidding me?
So we had this, we would like to say this is an event that's happened, but it's going to be a future event as well. Plan on doing this event every year, but it was just an idea, and I mentioned it to Chief Salter, and his team made this happen in just a few short months. They put this entire prom together, and I just want to mention the officers that showed up, because, you know, our officers are tired. They work long shifts. It's a stressful job. They don't show up to every event, but they came out in force to this one. We had James Cooper, Garrett and Avery, his wife, who was our photographer, Kessis Hickson, Sergeant Dustin Calhoun, Cody Penny and his spouse, Clayton Crawford, William Hawthorne, LeBoon Norris, Sergeant Whitaker and his spouse, Tracy King, a dispatcher. And it was organized, and they put so much time and effort into this beautiful event. Holly Brewer, Michelle and James Melton, Kimmy Snowden and spouse, Alice Webb, Jennifer Maxwell. And we had two beautiful princesses that were our hype girls, and they danced with those kids all night long, Ava Smith and her friend Adeline Fogue. So I just want to tell everyone how heartwarming it was to see the community come together. You saw the sponsors. I mean, Ram Foundation sponsored. They were able to put on a beautiful event, give away prizes, give away gift bags, and give away food. And those kids had the best time. They danced all night long. Some of them were not ready to leave by the time it was over. We had to call it a night because we were all tired. But thank you all for making such a special event happen. If you want to ever come out and enjoy that event, your heart will be full for the rest of the year. It just was an amazing time. So thank you all.
One more thing, I know we have Coffee with Cops, I believe tomorrow, and it's at Paris Coffee downtown, I believe. So that's at 9 a.m., and it's always a fun event to be able to come out and meet with city staff, council members that are there, and just in general to be able to chat and talk about things that you want to talk about. So
I forgot to say, the hotel that we used, you could not find a better location. It was beautiful, and your staff was amazing, so thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, anyone else have any events or anything else? All right. If not, we'll go ahead and go on to agenda item number 22, adjournment. I'll hear a motion in a second.
So moved.
All right, motion? Second. Second, all right. We are adjourned.